Welcome back, dear viewers, to a super special episode of Psychonauts 2. I collected all the powers in the game, got a few upgrades for them too, and I reached another point of no return, namely, the Astrolabe. I've been itching to clean up the mines we visited previously, and we're at a good pause in the story. So hey, let's do it. In this video, I'll be going to the collective unconscious to revisit previous mines I've been to. I'll clean up collectibles, show off changes, and also go back in time briefly to present a few things I failed to show off the first time around. I want to note that it was always possible to go back to previous levels from the very moment we got access to the brain tumbler in Thash's office. I mean, he did get to delousing it rather quickly. Mental connection was the only thing really gating us, and the only thing we needed to finish Loboto's mine, for instance. Hold up though, because before we get to the mines, I'm starting off this video by finishing Green Needle Gulch. We only have 2 things left to get here. The first thing here is the outhouse.
Forever, pal.
With the help of our annoying Raz archetype, we can get the side challenge marker stuck inside. Nice, if a little bit dirty. You probably deserved it. The next thing is in Cassie's area, and you might think, oh, I gotta take the smoker. Nope. Ever since Cassie has taken care of her little issues, the smoker is no longer necessary. Just be careful you don't accidentally step in the honey outside the path. You will be sent back to the front. There's still too much of it, and she doesn't know what to do with it. At the top of Cassie's bee house, we had this other little slot there.
Hey, what's that over there?
Leading to Cassie's bedroom.
Like a pesky
With a massive bed. Seriously, this thing is huge, and I don't know how it's not dripping in honey, but somehow she did it. We'll just take her, well, hopefully not life savings, because that would be pretty rude, but a cool 500 Psytanium with which to buy badges and whatever we want. On this fantastical journey back into the mines we visited, I'll be using 3 pins. I'll be using the Sapphire Lev Ball just because, hey, looking at blue's kind of cool, you know? It's a cool color and everything. I will be using Mental Packs as well. It gives me a little bit of Psytanium, or at least a chance at getting Psytanium every time I make a mental connection. Finally, I'll use Gag Order, since the Raz archetype, no offense Raz, but it's really, really annoying, so you should probably get on figuring out how those work.
Is it time to take a spin in the brain tumbler? Yes, I'm ready to go to the collective unconscious.
In fact, I'm going to want to give a demonstration of mental packs immediately. Mental Tax is a nice little pin if you want to grind Psytanium, or if you just want a little boost here and there. Every time you connect to another node, you get a chance at picking up 10 Psytanium from it, which you can see above Raz's head. Not bad. There are 2 things that make this pin really nice. The first is you can revisit nodes and there is still a chance of getting Psytanium from them. Like so. I don't think the probability goes down of receiving Psytanium. It might be somewhere between 25 to 50%. Somebody with actual access to the game internals could maybe tell me. The nice thing is it also works in the physical world. You are, I guess, taxing whatever mind had the thoughts. So you can imagine that in this area here, you could just keep going and going and going, and you see I'm already at 762, 782, 792, 802. Seriously, this pin is very nice, and if you don't have a good way of topping up your Psytanium, besides running around the real world that is, you can always use this. You'll never really run out. The first mind we will be revisiting is Loboto's mind in Loboto's Labyrinth. He's been sitting on that table for quite a while. Let's entertain him a bit.
Looks like Sasha's implanted office construct hasn't completely broken down yet. Let's see what I can find.
As Raz notes, you enter a mind. It's mostly in the same state as you left it, with a few changes that the game will helpfully point out, such as some paths aren't connected in the brain anymore. You need to talk to a little bubble guy to travel between locations. The bubble guy, for you guys who played Psychonauts 1, is back.
I recognize that sound. My little friend is back. Good to see you, buddy. I might need some help getting around this mind. Could you give me a lift?
He will let you travel to the different places in the mind, the different rooms that are unconnected, in some levels to different areas within the same room, just to make it more convenient. And we have no check marks here. Much like I mentioned in a previous video, the game now has check marks added in a patch to track how much you've done, not just next to the level names, but also next to the different areas. Our bubble guy cannot be hurt, but he can be clairvoyant and sees us as a little package to shunt around the level. Right then, let's start the collectathon. We need pyrokinesis. This used to be a passage out. It now holds one of the 2 nuggets of wisdom that we did not get the first time.
I'll take this nugget.
Mostly because they didn't exist yet. As you can see now, the central office has a check mark next to it.
That always makes me a little dizzy. I think I hear something.
We couldn't burn this in the conference room because it was too early in the level, but now we can get the baggage.
Hey, little buddy. I need to get somewhere quick. Thanks for the ride.
Back in the trash can, we had a little zipper here that made us go forward. Unzip it, and it won't reveal a path, but it will reveal the second nugget.
I'll take this nugget. May I trouble you for a bubble? Thanks, buddy.
The poster gallery doesn't have too much, except one thing I want to point off before going to pick up. With the camera, we can zoom in on some of these posters. There's some beautiful style here. Love the Warhol. But this is cool. It's the most demonstrative of the posters, showing the paranoia implanted in Loboto's mind. She is watching. The rest of the posters are still the same. But I actually didn't notice this until now. This beautiful poster of teeth is probably Loboto's most genuine self, because it looks like Loboto just when he was a kid. He was that kind of weird.
Oh! What's that sound?
And on the boss's desk, we have a cute little picture of Loboto, cartoon style.
Yep. Got a little bubble juice in my nose that time.
In the dental void, we originally couldn't use these mental connection nodes because, well, we needed Agent Forsyth to teach us how to use them. You might be tempted to go and grab them from this side. But sadly, you are in fact a bit short. If you really want to take a shortcut, you'll need to go a little further and use the updraft, like so. And now we'll continue the proper way, peeking past a few remaining doubts in the level. Looks like they're not gone yet. Take care of them if you want. They really can't do much to you at this point.
Here's the steamer trunk tab.
The dental void actually has a path to the asylum still open. Mainly because if it wasn't open, you wouldn't be able to collect any of the figments that were down here, if you missed them on the way down. Missing a figment here is one of the more annoying places, since if you miss it again the second time and the third time, you'll have to retry and retry. Eventually you'll get it.
I think I hear something. All of Loboto's emotional baggage is now sorted. Maybe he'll be better now?
And finishing off with the final memory. I can't help but feel he's sensationalizing the Psychonauts' intervention in the Rhombus of Ruin. They were kind of badass, though. But not nearly that mean.
Oh! Hey, little buddy. I need to get somewhere quick.
That's all the area's done in Loboto's mind. Hollis's brain has two areas, which is also why it's called Enter Hollis's brain here on the door. You can go to the classroom or the hot streak. The classroom was already completed, but let's step in just a little bit to see one little thing. Namely, Agent Forsyth is still here. You can talk to her.
Agent Forsyth?
Not now, Aquato. I'm still cleaning up the mess you made in here.
But I thought that was all fixed.
You removed the cause of the anomalies, but many of its effects are still around.
I'll help clean up.
All right, but just be careful.
I can't be sure whether that's resignation or grudging respect, you know, that we're up to the task, because we did cause all the mess in the first place.
How's the cleanup coming?
Fine, but I'm still trying to unpack these complex notions I have about cilantro.
You know what, Hollis? A whole lot of people are as well. The classroom is, you know, quite empty. These documents are more or less the same as we've seen in the Mother Lobe. Cans are devoid of any logos. We do have a book. Brains. By Brown. And more fire, and more Psychonauts. These books sure do get around. But that's it. We found everything earlier, there's really nothing else to do here. We can go straight to Hollis's hot streak.
Trouble you for it, Bubble.
But you do have to go back out to the collective unconscious to do that. You unfortunately cannot jump between levels from one level to the other, even if it was through the same door. I'll see you in Hollis' hot streak in just a moment. In Hollis' hot streak, I actually left a couple things undone.
I need to get somewhere quick.
The classroom and the parking lot were fine, but hell, I even left some stuff in the morgue. So let's start here.
Thanks, buddy.
A cool little thing you can do in the morgue that I didn't really get to do. If you remember, in Psychonauts 1, Pasha's shooting gallery was a cube, and it had some very interesting physics at the edge. Here, you might notice I'm not really pressing much of a button, but the momentum keeps going, and this cube has really funny physics, especially when it comes to jumping. You can do some pretty sick jumps. In records, there was a lot of empty space that didn't seem like it was used for anything. But if you actually came to the end of this hallway and you listen closely, there's a slight shimmering sound.
I'll take this again.
When in doubt, burn all the clutter.
That always makes me a little dizzy.
Moving to cardiology, there are a couple things I want to show off in the room that I did not get a close look at. First, you can't actually jump up on these tables, on these chairs, stands, whatever you want to call them, because there's actually glass. The texture blends in quite nicely with the background, so if you don't come up here, you might just think, oh, maybe I could jump, or you try jumping and you think, oh, there's an invisible wall. No, the texture's actually there. It's just hard to see in the light. You can also see all these tables are prescription from Dr. Lucopus for Hollis. A general 500 milligrams of, I suppose, just what the doctor ordered, with water. You also have some chips, more glasses, but not much at the heart table, and a whole lot of pill bottles, which, despite the zoom, do not have anything of note on them. Now, what did we miss here? First, I think I didn't get to show off the post-race conversation with these guys, nor what happens with clairvoyance.
Tough break. Maybe try harder next time?
Who let you in here? This is why we don't just let anybody back here.
Reflecting on your humiliating loss?
Not right now, please. I'm scolding my inner child. Please don't break my concentration.
If you were nicer, you'd win more races.
If you were closer, I could hit you. Quit it, Joker.
Hey, so I guess you want your cut of the winnings?
No way. I can't have this traced back to me. In fact, I'm skipping town. The boss is not gonna like what just happened.
What? Why?
Take my advice. Don't win anything else today.
So what did you mean?
Shh. We shouldn't be seen together.
Yeah, probably no long-lasting effects, right? I'm sure Hollis doesn't mind. I'll just do clairvoyance and move on. At heart, we are an encouraging dude. There to cheer him on. And to all these three guys, we are in fact a Joker. Whether that's a wild card or somebody you shouldn't take seriously, who really knows? Or also a joker to a whole bunch of other things in the mine. But what I really missed was this room. I never even opened the door. This room contains a whole bunch of figments. The oxygen tanks are a hell of a lot of fun to play around with. And kind of bouncy too. And a door. Hooray for gag order. During these collectathons, our archetype will not bother us much.
I'll take this nugget.
It makes you almost feel sad for him. Almost.
Got a little bubble juice in
Maternity
nose
ward.
that time.
This dead patient-ish is still here.
Almost had it.
Nope. I want to
just
show
need
him
to
off.
Focus a little longer with my clairvoyance.
I don't remember showing off this effect. We are a black cat to this patient. Probably just a whole bunch of bad luck. But with dark thoughts that we didn't have at the time,
I think I hear some emotional
we
baggage.
can collect the last piece of emotional baggage.
I sorted all the emotional baggage in Agent Forsyth's mind. It's the least I could do after the trouble I caused.
Damn right. The pharmacy had the Pilinko game. Pilinko has been shut down as the nurse is no longer there. Gone, dead, kidnapped, whichever.
Yep.
The game is kind. Every figment that was in Pilinko that you didn't pick up will show up here, on the floor, making it much easy for you to collect. And some of the figments are in the hallway, don't forget to go back and look.
That's it. I think I've collected every figment in this mine.
And a neat little thing, it's just a visual effect, but I find it cool. If you whack the Pilinko games, you'll get a beautiful light show. I'm wondering if I get a tilt out of it.
Got a little bubble juice in my nose that time.
The pharmacy back room was almost complete, and I was missing something. Again, a dark thought chain.
I'll take this nugget. Oh, yep. Could you give me a lift?
And that's everything in Hollis' mines, both the classroom and the hot streak. Comptons Cookoff has a fairly quick level to complete since there's only one area.
Looks like the budget of this show has been cut drastically.
You might say it was chopped.
But they kept that guy. Weird.
Yeah, they lost the audience, they kept Chopper, and somehow they've got goats.
Alley-oop! Beat it, goat!
Yeah, get out of
Out
here.
of the way!
You already caused Compton enough troubles.
I am such a jerk.
And they probably deserved it, Raz. There were 2 pieces of luggage I just didn't collect. One I couldn't get because I had to win the tag first.
Here's the steamer trunk tag.
And then one thing,
I think
Figment
I hear
and Nugget of Wisdom hidden behind a Dark Thoughts path. It's actually fairly easy to have acquired Dark Thoughts by this time, so if you do want to get it out of the way, you're set for pretty much all levels going on. But if, like I did in the LP, you kind of waited for dark thoughts,
That's it! I think I've collected every figment in this mine.
well, you'll just have to come back and do
I'll
this.
take this nugget.
And find this goat,
Move, goat.
which can sometimes be pushed off the ledge, but it's not really cooperating this time.
What's that sound?
That was the suitcase next to the water boiler, the egg bath, or the beehive bath, whichever you want. One steamer trunk, right next to the blender, and one duffel bag, right behind the chopper.
Looks like Compton's mind is sorted. Emotionally speaking, I mean.
There were a couple things I missed in Comptons Cookoff. When you mess up an ingredient, or you leave a cooked ingredient lying around, it turns black and eventually disappears. There are sometimes special lines per ingredient.
The bread is dead.
Someone also pointed out how you can use a levitation ball on the goat vomit in the boss fight. Honestly, I was just making it harder on myself, and making it a little entertaining for the Let's Play. And that's it, fairly quick. If there was any doubt after beating the Psyking Sensorium exactly who the Psyking was, honestly, the helmet on the door should give it away.
I don't want to bother the feast during their encore. I'll just sneak around and clean up, like a roadie.
Right. So, the Psyking Sensorium is where the collectathon gets serious and gets really, really annoying. It's incredibly colorful here. The figments are also pure colors. They blend in incredibly well. Because did you notice I missed some figments right here the first time around? Yep, they were right here behind the van. The feast is over, but the band is here. All the senses seem in harmony to some degree, or at least they're demanding a feast, more of a feast. Couple cool things. First, the senses will see you the same, but here, finally unveiled, Helmut Fullbear will see you as the roadie in his mental world as well, no longer the confusing ball of light.
The crowd is throwing things again. With my face.
Now you've done it.
The senses have a little quip, but you can hit Helmut Fullbear as much as you want. There seem to be no lines recorded.
The crowd is throwing things again. The crowd is throwing things again.
Ford's complaining though.
Yep.
And another little neat thing. Yeah, there's no cutscene preventing us from going into the crowd this time. So, let's do a oh dear. The crowd is, in fact, water. It will forever be deadly to us. A flood of senses.
Hey, little buddy. I need to get somewhere quick. That always makes me a little dizzy.
We will start with the Eye Shrine. I think this should be good. If you recall, we actually could not collect everything The game would not let us get the memory vaults at all, gated behind something we didn't understand at the time. The projection power. Oh boy. And no, the game really didn't want us to see these memory vaults early, because it would have told us quite a lot. Helmut Fullbear. A failing artist, found by the Psychonauts for his beautiful ability to bring, I guess, the senses to life. How marvelous and an exciting time. And indeed, one of his main memories is remembering how Bob saw him.
Nothing truly bends but our minds.
And then the duffel bag. Sadly, we're not done in the Ice Shrine yet because I made a very, very big mistake.
Just frequencies in the same beam of light. Rainbow bound and
I really like Pouncy Ball. Really like Pouncy Ball.
is this the end? Or have we bent around back to the beginning?
But when I came down here, and I came up these vines, I mentioned that you could use Pouncy Ball to get up on these vines. And Pouncy Ball was like a hammer. When you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. When you have Pouncy Ball, everything looks like something where you can use Pouncy Ball. But no, I missed this entire little side area. Because I failed to go here the first time through, and I just skipped it, the dialogue wasn't triggered. I don't know exactly where it plays from, but the Side King, I might still be here as an invisible entity? Regardless, I outright missed these figments. Fortunately, that's everything in the Eye Shrine, so we can just head back. I somehow managed to get every single figment in the concessions area, which surprised me because the first time through the game, I missed a lot of them on the ground because they blended in well. This is where the second memory vault was. Again, unlocked through our archetypes. Probably hidden because it would be a massive spoiler to everything that happened in the fight with Ford, with Bob, everyone.
Thanks, buddy.
Next, the Nose-Mouth Shrine had a single figment I couldn't access just because I didn't have the Dark Thoughts upgrade at the time.
got a little bubble juice in my nose that time.
The woods have two things I missed. First, shame to say, I did not look behind the tree right next to the van. The single figment blends in really well. And also, if you have the Dark Thoughts upgrade, you can take this little path. It'll not only net you a figment, but it's also a little shortcut. Fast travel to the way up. The Ear Hand Shrine is possibly the biggest example of these figments really blend in, and I didn't notice them.
That's it. I think I've collected.
Seriously, they were right there. And they were not only right there. I ignored this lamp.
Everything vibrates. Vibration is sound. Sound is everything.
I'll take this nugget.
Which means I also missed that little audio clip. See? The game is saying that the Psy King is doing something or saying something. So there seems to be some kind of Psy King entity still hanging around, even if we have completed the area. Fortunately, we won't have to get back here once we've collected this steamer truck.
Wow, I sorted all the emotional baggage in Helmet's mind. Wonder if I can be in the band now.
Sorry, Raz, I don't think that's what the roadie does. My first time through the Eye Shrine, I failed to show off you can destroy the microphones for more funny lines.
Yeah, you couldn't hear it, but that one said something super rude. A guy named Mike took my lunch money once. That's why I did that. Ooh, I like that sound. That should have been taped down. Very sloppy. Oops. I was just trying to adjust the height on that one. Test. My voice sounded weird in that one. Rock and roll. Just helping that one clear its windpipe. Giving that one to the fans. That one was an electrocution risk.
And that is it for the Psy King Sensorium. Ford's mind, in its 3 or 4 parts, including the Tomb of the Sharkophagus, also gets the special name treatment in the collective unconscious. It is called Ford's Fractured Mind. Honestly, a pretty cool name. Like Hollis' level, a multi-select when entering. We'll start with Ford's Follicles, even though I did collect everything. One little brief quip when you enter.
Looks like I missed my chance for a free haircut.
Oh, Raz. Always thinking of the important things. Next up, Strike City.
Hey, I thought this world was sprayed out of existence.
Oh no, that's happening in a few minutes.
Oh, wow. The cycle continues. I'd better get my cleanup done quick.
It's a circle of life. Okay, seriously though, it looks like this world just regenerates. That's how dirty bowling shoes are.
Buddy, I need to get somewhere quick. Thanks for the ride.
The only real thing I missed here was the duffel bag.
Yep.
It was right near the ball return and the entrance to the Kingpin Express.
I think I hear some emotional baggage nearby.
Picking up the duffel bag here does not give us any kind of quip or notice, mainly because you have to get everything in all the levels for that to matter. All the levels connected to Ford, that is. Now, a few things I didn't get to show off in Strike City. All the little bugs around the lampposts are actually mini germs. It's cute. You also can't get on the express lanes without a ball, cause that's a foul.
Hey now, no crossing the foul line. Bowling balls only. I just waxed the wood.
Finally, here are more photo booth lines at the entrance of the level.
Okay, now a nice one, please.
Cheese!
Okay, now a nice one, please.
Is this still going? Do I need to put more money in it?
Are you comfortable? Am I crushing you?
Very glamorous. Now, let's try one without the tongue.
I'm going to do my caveman face.
Is this still going? Do I need to put more money in it?
The game has a pool of lines for both Lucy and Ford, and we'll choose each one at random to mix and match.
Okay, now a nice one, please.
Hang on, I have some more change.
Well, this place is still up and running. I guess you really can't stop the mail.
You sure can't. It's one dedicated employee. Examining the mail is pretty much the
Dear
same.
Ford, we brought
There's nothing
peace
different.
to Grulovia, but there is still unrest among the people. A little ungrateful, I think.
But it looks like the Ford machine has certainly recovered. His mind is in pretty good working order, and you can already see here in the background above Raz's head what I missed the first time. For shame. Actually, a few things I missed here. Here in the entrance area, everything is fine, but at the dead letter office, there is another figment I just completely missed and blanked out on. There are a couple ways to get it. You could Pouncy Ball up from here, if you have Pouncy Ball. Or if you want the official way to get it, whether you used our little friend here or not, to bubble around, is to come to the dead letter office. Travel through, and get to the part at the end where you have to switch on the robot panel. And look left. That's it.
Aha! Here's the Hatbox tag.
And there you'll also find the missing Hatbox tag.
Thanks, buddy.
The International Dead Letter Office had, in fact, the Hatbox. If I'd planned a little bit better, I could have picked it up at that time.
I've sorted all the emotional baggage here. Hope that helps, Ford.
Who knows, Raz? Who knows?
That always makes me a little dizzy.
Now, those last two figments can be obtained one of two ways. You can either take these envelopes up and go the high route, which is what getting on here realistically will do, or because mental connection is now usable, you can just make your life easy. Just climb up. This jump is a little trickier to do, but not impossible.
Well, that's it. I think I've collected every figment in this mine.
That takes care of the three, let's say, shattered parts of Ford's mind, but not everything in Ford's mind. Indeed, we're left with the Tomb of the Sharkophagus. Actually, a part of Ford's mind, too.
I guess Ford really doesn't have anything else to hide. I really didn't want to come back here. I'll make it quick.
When entering the graveyard, turn to your right. You'll see a memory vault in the appropriate grave. A closer look at exactly what happened for Ford to crack, and the questionable decision he made with Augustus, our father. But did you know that vault isn't there the first time you visit the level? It's true. Our visit must have unearthed it, preventing possible, spoilers the first time around? That comb that chases you down the graveyard is actually a music box. Have a listen. And finally, here is the extra hard way of getting the tag on top of the Sharkophagus. I don't recommend this, even though this is the first way I managed to do it playing the game.
First tag.
This actually completes Ford's mind. Next up, we have the one, the only author of Mindstorm's Mind, Cassiopeia, in Cassie's collection. Cassie's collection has some things I deliberately didn't get. Like one half a mind, and some luggage that I just thought I can come back for it later. A few things have changed, and one thing I never really think I checked out is what happens if you try to open the restricted books section.
So why are all these books restricted?
Full of outdated ideas. Dangerous ideas that got us into a lot of trouble.
The librarian voice speaks as though it's coming from right here. But they're actually all
Hey,
right
look
here.
at Cassie over there, getting along with herself. So, what's the plan?
We were just trying to figure out who has to clean up the library. The general consensus is it can wait until tomorrow.
Well, I'll help you clean up some.
He means loot.
I'll be watching you, kid. Forever.
You know, she's not wrong either. We are here to collect a whole bunch of things. We'll start off here, in the children's section. If you remember, there was a half of mine somewhere that I could really have come back and gotten it any time I wanted. It was stuck behind a projection door. And that projection door got unlocked really early in the level, but I never really came back. Time to fix that. But hey, aren't you kind of glad we learned to gag our projection now? Seriously, it's a lot calmer. Back in the teacher's domain, after fighting a whole lot of things, because those sensors and those enablers are still in full force around here, you'll notice our friend Sir Dragon. What's going on with this pile of burnt ash? I think we need a little one-on-one.
Hey, what happened to your knight friend?
Oh, he had to go.
Really?
What's this pile of ash?
What pile of ash?
This one right here, with the bits of knight helmet in it.
Oh, the knight left that there. He's coming back for it later.
Really?
This pile of ash. It's not the knight, is it?
Does it look like a knight?
I mean, I don't know. He's got a point. It's just ash.
Thanks for the ride!
Back in the waterfront, I am ashamed to say I forgot things that are in fact in full view when you come right here.
Meow.
You might notice them right in front of me.
Yep.
1 nugget of wisdom and 1 luggage tag, and they were actually very easy to get.
Oh.
Let's fix that. The easiest way to get the luggage tag is just look to the left before going up to the fish market.
What catfish and shoes to kill flat
2 bookmarks will lead you there.
Here's the steamer trunk tag.
My catfish is buttery and sweet and easy to eat.
The nugget of wisdom can probably be attained easiest by jumping down. You can go down from the tag, but, you know, you could also just drop.
I'll take this nugget.
Yes, you can climb that waterfall without Time Bubble. It's just a little bit harder.
Okay, time to gather evidence.
Then, to end this area on a high note, we need to go back up. There's a piece of emotional baggage that I didn't get the first time. I hadn't gotten the tag, because I missed it. Interesting little note, you can jump from the chandelier straight to that emotional baggage by using this little card catalog thing.
Yep. Cassie's emotional baggage is all sorted. Maybe now she can write another book.
There has been absolutely no change to any of the entities up here. That's the domain done. Cassie's collection has been collected and completed. And last for this episode, Bob's Bottles. Bob's Bottles is a special kind of hell for collecting things, and you're about to see why.
Well, this place is improved. Bob really does have a green thumb.
Hey, it's not awful here, though.
Hey, Bob. How's it going?
Oh, you know, inch by inch, row by row.
Mind if I sail around and tie up some loose ends?
Okay, but listen. I have all the seeds I need, okay?
Gotcha. No seeds, I promise. Hey, Bob. How's it going?
Oh,
Mind if gotcha. No
Just one bit of new dialogue.
seeds, I
And if you
promise.
notice in the real world, his vision had been a little bit rosier. Here too. He is no longer grayed out.
Yep.
And we have a bunch of neat plants that we can't really interact with. I suppose we could hit Bob, though.
You again? You again?
Now then, why is Bob's Bottle such a pain to collect things in? like the Side King Sensorium, it's the color. You see, a lot of figments, including the grass, just blend in because the colors are weird. I don't use this much in the gameplay, and I have shown it in this video just kind of show what's been collected. But before we start the collection, let's just take a look at Bob's bottles and look at the figments. So you can see we're already missing a coconut, a telephone of sorts, some music bars, and a banana. If you use these kind of visual cues, you can sort of figure out where the figment might be located. And if these were the last figment, or let's say, if this overworld area here in Bob's Bottles, the sea, were the last area left, I can tell you right now, knowing what 2 figments you were looking for would help enormously. Or 5. Because yeah, this is really, really hard to notice. If you didn't know you were looking for a coconut, you might never look here. It might blend in forever. And that banana, I know, is the one we were looking for. And that's on the island with the pink flowers. Can you see it? If you weren't looking out for it specifically, you might never know it's up there hanging in the tree that you can't really climb up. Just imagine all these small plant-like figments around. I'm glad I got most of them the first time. Now then, another really, really cruel move the game will play on you are... well, I'll show you. So here on the yellow and red flower island, we have this little bottle here, which brings us down to the Bog of the Betrothed. If I went and looked at the little bubble guy, however, he would say that this area has all figments collected, and the Bog of the Betrothed still has some figments left to pick up. They're the ones in this bottle. The moment you enter this bottle, it counts as the next area. Which can be incredibly confusing your first time trying to navigate this world in order to collect the figments. Because you would think that the area transition would be reaching the bottom of the bottle, but no. We reach this area the moment we enter the bottleneck.
Thanks for the ride!
Now, some pretty normal things I missed. Tia's kitchen has a refrigerator. And apparently, Tia likes to put the telephone behind the fridge.
That always makes me a little dizzy.
I knew about this one. At the Viking reception. That island over there has a couple figments, and I just didn't grab the one I needed at the time. In fact, it was probably the easiest to get. I could have gotten it first, since it was at the bottom of all these candle stacks.
Thanks, buddy.
And finally, on the Cake Summit, I missed one figment there on one more candle draft. Getting back may not be immediately obvious, but you can use this candle updraft here. It'll get you high enough that you can go backwards. Otherwise,
I think I've collected.
You cannot go from the original entrance. And that's it. Even Bob's Bottles is done. with all that stuff picked up, we can finally upgrade some powers some more. We're gonna go for melee, adding a shockwave to the ground pound. I don't really use it too much anyhow, but at least here I'll have a few more options. I'll finally boost telekinesis to max, letting me pluck objects much faster than before if they were stuck on the ground, or just heavier. And I'll just get projection to the max, able to absorb more damage, and actually damaging enemies when they attack him. Makes him a lot more useful to have around, and any chip damage helps. We still have a little bit of levitation and clairvoyance left. Levitation and wrecking ball attacks don't matter too much to me, so most powers right now are an afterthought. The same with clairvoyance. Mental block makes us take no damage for a brief period when entering clairvoyance. Now I could be wrong about this. Maybe this could be incredibly useful, but I don't think I've found much of a use for it. Still, it's only 3 intern credit needed, so it's probably what I'll get next, just to round it out. And that last clairvoyance power there, yeah, rank 102. You might have seen it in past videos of mine. Well, I don't think it's a spoiler to say you will not get this until the game is over. So don't worry about it for now. And that's it. That is truly it for all the mines we've seen so far. It's not as if there isn't more to do. We have the astrolabes to turn on and a couple more mines left in the game. We have a couple powers to upgrade, as minor as they might be right now, but we are rapidly closing in on the end of the game. I'll arrange some pins next episode and look at our situation, and we will move on with the astrolabes. See you then.